Now it's time for some New York Mets baseball talk. Here's Gary Mack bringing you the latest news and analysis from Mets Nation and the world of baseball on another edition of Mets Musings.
And hello and welcome to episode number 176 of Mets Musings. Hope everybody had a terrific week out there. And what a great week for the New York Mets. Yes, I know it's November. How can they have a great week? Well, it was a great week because they got another award. Is Jacob deGrom won the National League Rookie of the Year. Really a no-brainer. Everybody could see the tide was turning that way, and deGrom, a worthy winner of the Rookie of the Year for 2014. He garnered 26 of the 31st place votes. Congratulations go out to Jacob deGrom. But the other big news of the week is that the Mets made a free agent signing and they got the guy that they wanted. And he is Michael Cuddyer, and this is the guy that they've been talking about. They've been wanting to get. It didn't look like we were going to get him after Colorado made him an offer, a qualifying offer of $15.3 million. Didn't think they were going to pull it off, but apparently he wanted that security of a 2-year contract, and he signed with the New York Mets. The deal is worth, according to CBS Sports, $21 million over those 2 seasons. He will make $8.5 million in 2015 and $12.5 million in 2016. He is 35 years old. Cuddyer is 2-time All-Star and the 2013 NL batting champion, during which he had a career best 331 in 130 games with the Rockies. He hit 332 with 10 home runs and 31 RBI in 190 bats last season. He went to 6 postseasons with the Twins between 2002 2010. Cuddyer had played mostly right field with the Rockies, but also saw time at first base. The Mets will give up the number 15 overall pick in the 2015 ML draft for signing Cuddyer, who was extended a qualifying offer, as we say, by Colorado. So Michael Cuddyer comes into the fold of New York. He is now a New York Met. Announced to the public he is happy to be here, and he's a good friend of David Wright. So looks like there's pluses all around. I think he'll be a great addition to this lineup. He is a professional hitter and the kind of guy that really the Mets really need at this particular time. Not necessarily a bomber, a home run hitter, but a good puts the bat on the ball type of guy, and that's what they need right now. So Michael Cuddyer joins the New York Mets as their first free agent signing of the 2014 season. And now they will turn their attention towards a shortstop. Sandy Olson said this. And so we can expect them to go hunting after a shortstop soon, probably via trade, being that they gave up nothing to get Cuddyer other than cash and a first-round draft pick. So Mets going for the giving up the draft pick. You know, they've been hesitant in the past to do that, but now must feel that it is time to go for the gusto and try to take this thing home. And I think this is a big move, and now we'll see how they continue and what happens with the shortstop situation as they continue on the season, or the off season, I should say. So made some other signings, minor league signings. They signed outfielder Alex Castellanos to a minor league deal with an invite to a major league spring training. And they've re-signed first baseman Brandon Allen to a minor league deal with an invite to spring training. the team announced. Allen, 28, spent last season in the Mets organization, appearing in 98 games with AAA Las Vegas, hitting .266 with 13 home runs and 52 RBI for the 51s. And sometimes you bring in these guys to fill out your rosters, to get more bodies into camp. And sometimes, like an Andrew Brown, it works out for a short period of time as he came up with some big hits for the Mets. And it's the same thing with these guys. Maybe somebody, they'll get a diamond in the rough and they'll bloom at the right time. And that's what you want. And you add them to your roster. But mostly probably filler deals where they can fill out the 51s, because they have taken a lot of players for them or from them. And, you need to replace some of those guys. So we'll see how that all plays out. But these guys will bring in spring training, and we'll see at the major league camp, and we'll see how that if they have good springs and how it all works out. And this is exciting news that the Mets made a move. Of course, the Met fans across social media, they have to have something to complain about. They either are still complaining about David Wright, or they're complaining about getting Cuddyer, or they're complaining about why didn't we get Stanton. And the biggest ridiculousness that I've seen across there is this need to get Jose Reyes back. I actually saw one guy, he wanted to trade half the pitching staff to bring back Jose Reyes. And I'm sorry, folks, but you're nuts. You're crazy if you want to make that kind of deal. Jose Reyes is 31 now. He is a player, a terrific player, but a player whose game is built on speed. Every year he gets older, he loses a step. He's not the Jose Reyes that was here. He's a shell of that former player, and he's getting older. And so you don't want to bring a guy like that back. He's got a big contract that you don't need or want. And as I said, if you look at the numbers dropping over the last few years. You don't want to take on that kind of contract with a guy that's injured. One person did write, I thought it was rather humorous. Okay, if we get Jose Reyes back, who was our shortstop between May and August. And I thought that was rather funny, pointing out his injury history. But you don't want to make a move like that, folks. We've passed that. Move on. We've gotten by that. I mean, I actually saw somebody that wrote that Starlin Castro was too old. He's 24. Don't get Starlin Castro. He's 24. Let's keep Flores. He's 23. Whew. Man, I don't know what's going on out there in Mets Nation, but some people are smoking some wacky tobacco or something, because there is some crazy stuff going on out there. Never mind beyond the usual craziness of these ridiculous trades that people come up with. Even more nuts than that. But, come on, people. Let's be happy for a brief period of time. Let's accept that they made some moves. Let's hope that they're going to work out. I mean, you may never know. I mean, look, the Yankees have signed guys, had a $240 million payroll, and they didn't make the playoffs. Didn't work out. That's what happens in sports. But let's not kill the messenger before the season's even started. Let's not get all agitated over this already. They've added a professional hitter. Now let's see what they can do besides that. Let's see if they can swing a trade. Let's see if they can bring in a shortstop that's better than what they have in-house. And let's go from there. Let's see what other deals may be around. You don't know what other deals. He may not be done yet. There may be something lurking out there that's totally unexpected. Totally. But can we give it a chance, and can we let it play out? And this is part of the problem. Social media is great. Excuse me. For a lot of things, but this is where it can become quite a bit of a problem when all of this stuff starts coming out. And it used to be people would call up sports radio shows and have crazy trades or crazy things, and now they can do it all over the place on the internet. So I just say let's chill a little bit and let's see what comes out of all of this. All right, time to let's see. Time to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back after this. MetsMusings is an unofficial, independent podcast covering New York's National League Baseball team. It is not affiliated in any way with Major League Baseball or the New York Mets.
Hi, this is the world-famous Mr. Brewtown of BrewtownSports.podomatic.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, Brewtown Sports. You can also listen to the show at Stitcher.com, TuneIn.com, and iTunes.com. And we've got the new one. It's called BrewtownRadio.weebly.com. But the one that I'm most proud of being on is BaseballPodcast.net. It is the home of great baseball talk shows. Check it out, my show and all kinds of other programs all about Major League Baseball. So check it out. That's baseballpodcast.net, the home for great baseball talk shows.
Looking for great Carl? Then check out Conversations with C70. My name is Daniel Shofdahl, and I talk with some of the great bloggers on the internet today about their teams. It always goes back to the Cardinals. Find the latest episode on my website, www.cardinal70.com, or at baseballpodcast.net.
This is Frank Conti, the host of Marlins Country Radio on iHeart, a Miami Marlins sports talk show. When I want to know everything that's going on with the New York Mets, all I have to do is tune into the Mets Musings with Gary Mack on baseballtalkradio.com. It's the only place for great Mets baseball talk.
516-619-6341. That is the voicemail comment hotline that has been quite quiet lately. Can't be doing that great of a thing that the hotline's been quiet, but it has. So give us a call, leave a message, and we'll play it on the air. Or if you prefer, you can go to the website, MetsMusings.com. Click on the widget. There's a big banner in the middle of the page. Click on that, and you can leave a message right through the website, providing that you have a microphone in your computer or one hooked up to your computer. Or if you prefer, send us an email at MetsMusings@gmail.com. Try that today. Don't forget a Facebook page, Mets Musings. The Twitter handle is at MetsMusings1. And again, I apologize. I have been very quiet on Twitter lately. Just been very busy and can't spend as much time on it as I would like. But that's that. So check it out anyway. All right, in other news, like Joe Cocker once said, feeling all right, and so is David Wright. He says his shoulder feels good, and his current MRI results look significantly better than they were a few weeks ago. One's taken late in the regular season. This is what he told MLB Network Radio today. I'm starting to see some good results, he said, in regards to his rehab program, which he started to step up over the last week or so. I'm about a month away from feeling pretty good in actual baseball stuff. According to Wright, though, his rehab has been tedious. He says, I can feel my shoulder getting stronger and closer to normal. Wright battled the injured shoulder during most of the second half in 2014, during which time he received a cortisone shot and missed the final 3 weeks of the season, resulting in his least productive season since 2011. So let's hope that we can get David Wright healthy and he can have a season, a David Wright-ish season. He's probably not going to hit 30 home runs again. He's going to hit maybe 15 to 20, but that's all right. We need guys to hit. He can hit 290. He can hit 285. He can drive in 80 to 100 runs. That's what we need. We need to make contact, drive in runs, keep the ball in play, put the ball in play. That's what this team needs, and that's what hopefully he'll be able to do once he gets back. And Terry Collins says he fully expects the Mets to be a playoff team in 2015. He told SNY Mets Hot Stove, which airs tonight after this show at 10 o'clock. So go check it out on SNY. There's no question in my mind, Collins said. He also has Bobby Parnell penciled in as a closer for when the pitcher returns from Tommy John surgery. Collins recently saw Parnell at the team's off-season conditioning program in Florida and says his closer appears to be 15 pounds stronger than before his elbow surgery. He is big, he is strong, and he is anxious, Collins says. So check that out. Terry Collins on SNY. Mets Hot Stove tonight at 10 on SNY. Mets closer Henry Mejia has less than 3 years of major league service, but he will be one of 26 players in baseball that are classified as Super 2 players and eligible for salary arbitration. The Super 2 designation goes to only the top 22% of players with between 2 and 3 years of service time. Those players qualify for arbitration, provided they had at least 86 days of service time during the immediately preceding season. Players with 3 to 6 years of service time are eligible for salary arbitration. Mejia appeared in 63 games for the Mets after taking on the closer role in April after Bobby Parnell had season-ending surgery. Mejia was 6-6 with 28 saves. And that's an interesting dilemma between Parnell and Mejia that the Mets are going to have unless they plan on trading Mejia perhaps in this offseason. If let's face it, and anybody on this team should be tradable except for probably the starting pitches if the deal makes sense and is worthwhile. Ruben Tejada and Eric Young Jr. are candidates to be non-tendered. Of course, they could sign a minor league contract or a lesser contract and come back to spring training, which may be the case with Tejada. Eric Young Jr., I'm not so sure about. I think, look, I know Terry Collins loves him, loves the speed, and he really is a good guy. He worked hard and everything, but he just didn't hit enough for this team. And I think we saw some good things out of Matt Dendecker and Kirk Neuenhuis, and I really think you can replace Eric Young Jr. with the job he did. You can replace him with a Matt Dendecker. As far as the speed goes, he's a pretty fast guy, Dendecker, and I think he can take over in that department and be your fourth outfielder. And you have Neuenhuis on there too, who's pretty fast and is also a better glove than Eric Young, and Dendecker is a far better glove than Eric Young as well. So it could be the end of Eric Young tenure here in New York, and sorry to see him go, but that's the way it goes. That's what happens now. It's a numbers game, and he's not fitting into that bracket anymore. The New York Mets interviewed Pat Rosler, formerly the Yankees director of player development, for their assistant hitting coach position. And this is something new, this assistant hitting coach thing. I never heard of it before, but apparently, the Mets had it last year with Luis Natera, and apparently Hutchins was too busy watching batters that he couldn't talk to batters. I mean, the more you hear about this guy, the more you got to shake your head and wonder what the heck kind of coach was he at all. But glad he's gone. Kevin Long's here. Let's see. I don't know how he works. Never had an assistant coach, I don't believe. So we'll see. We'll see what that all plays out to in the upcoming months. All right, we're going to take another quick little break and come back with some more news about Jonathan Niese and his potty mouth and Baseball Prospectus and their ranking of New York Mets farm system. But for right now, let's listen to these terrific messages.
Hello, Mets fans. My name is Rich Baxter from FightinPhillies.com and the Phillies Talk podcast. I hope you're enjoying this edition of Mets Musings. I know I never miss a show. I'd like to invite you all to listen to a Phillies podcast if you'd like. Just head on over to FightinPhillies.com, or you can find us on iTunes, Audible, or Stitcher Radio. You can also find all of our podcasts at baseballpodcasts, that's with an S, .net. You can find Mets Musings. There's an Atlanta Braves podcast, one all the way from Japan. We have a Boston Red Sox one, and also one from the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're all independent podcasts. I think you'll enjoy them all. So head on over, give us a listen, and thanks for listening to Mets Musings.
And baseballpodcast.net and baseballtalkradio.com, all the same station. They're interchangeable. So you'll hear some promos here with baseballpodcast.net. Those are a little bit older, but the website is interchangeable. If you type one in, you're going to get to the same place as the other. And Rich didn't tell you about the show that he and I do every Sunday evening at around 7:30. It's a Google Hangout, and it's live video, and it's called MLB This Week, MLB This Week, and it's available at MLBThisWeek.com. You can watch it, the recorded version and the live version, and we do it every week, talking about baseball. This week we're going to do it on Monday night due to a scheduling conflict, but usually it's on a Sunday night, and Rich and I discuss all the issues of the week, and some you may not have even heard about. So check it out, MLB This Week at MLBThisWeek.com.
Hi, this is Paul, and this is Eric from the Talk to Contact podcast, a Minnesota Twins baseball podcast. You're listening to the best of baseball podcasts on baseballpodcast.net.
Hey, baseball fans, if you've been dying all winter for some hot baseball action, for the crack of the bat, the slap of the ball in a leather glove, waiting to talk baseball and listen to people talking baseball, well, you can have that and much more at BaseballTalkRadio.com. Home of great baseball talk shows.
For all listeners of Mets Musings, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 14-day trial to give you a chance to check out their service. Over 75,000 titles to choose from in all different categories, including science fiction, mystery, biographies, sports, computers, you name it, they have it to download. To download your free audiobook today, go to audiblepodcast.com/MetsMusings. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/MetsMusings for your free audiobook. 516-619-6341. That is the voicemail comment hotline if you'd like to be a part of the show. Give us a call, leave a message, or you can drop us an MetsMusings at gmail.com. Or go to our website, MetsMusings.com. By the way, you can watch this show live. We started doing it every week now. Let's see how long I continue it. But we're doing it live, and there's a little on the site board there. It says home or watch live. Click on that, and you can watch the show live. And you can also listen to it live on the right-hand side. There's a little Spreaker widget. So we're broadcasting live audio and live video this evening. So go check it out. Next week we'll do it again, probably. We'll see how it all worked out. Unless the whole thing crashed on us and went down the toilet. But I don't know if you saw this story today in the Daily News. Apparently Jonathan Niese ignored a bunt signal and told Terry Collins, his manager, F you, when questioned during the Southpaw's final start of the season. This according to the Daily News. Take me out if you don't like it, Niese reportedly added during the third inning of a game he ultimately pitched into the sixth inning. Niese and Collins clashed on the mound multiple times during the year over the timing of his removals from games, although Collins has said those instances were about fighting to stay in the game, and he liked that competitive spirit. Despite being the lone southpaw until Steven Matz is ready for the majors, Niese may get traded this offseason because the Mets have an extra starter with Matt Harvey returning. Team officials consistently have told ESPNNewYork.com that they will make Dylan G, Bartolo Colon, and Niese available and see which commands the most relative to his internal value. Niese went 9-11 with a 3.40 ERA in 30 starts and logged 187 2/3 innings this past season. Still, his average fastball velocity was 88.5 miles per hour, down 1.7 miles per hour from the previous season, which raises questions about the long-term durability of his shoulder. Niese does have a relatively team-friendly contract, which he originally signed to bargain away his arbitration years. He is owed $7 million in 2015, $9 million in 2016, then has two team options at $10 million and $11 million. And I'm sorry that people may not like what I'm going to say, but you cannot have a manager be cursed at by a player in front of people and have him, the player, ignore a bunt signal. It just doesn't work. And in fact, Terry Collins probably should have pulled his butt right out of that game. I'm sure Jonathan Niese can be a very nice guy, but you know what? Put some freaking numbers on the board first before you go acting all top shelf on us, all right? Yeah, you're going to criticize him because the guy's trying to save your career by coming out and taking you out of games that you started getting hammered in? He's thinking of you, and what do? You come back and you curse him out and you ignore his bunt signal because you didn't feel like bunting? Well, who the heck are you? Are you the manager now? His ass should be on a train out of town. This was and why has this got to come out now? Did somebody leak this from the Mets? Did Jonathan Niese leak this? Maybe he doesn't want to get traded, so he just leaked it out. Who knows? We'll never know. But come on, guys. I mean, you don't need this in a clubhouse. We just get a great, terrific clubhouse guy in Grandison. Now signed another one in Cuddyer. And now we got Niese going rogue on everybody. He's going to make up what he wants to do with bat. He doesn't want to bunt. And not for nothing, what was your batting average this year, Mr. Niese? You know, you're not a 300 hitter. If you're told to bunt, you bunt. That's all there is to it. You're paid to do a job. I don't like everything I have to do at work, but my boss says, you got to do this report. I got to do the report. I can't say F you, and if you don't like it, you can take me out of the game. Because in the real world, they'll take you out of the game, and you ain't getting back in. I don't even know why this bothers me so much, but I just think it's a ridiculous thing. And I'd say the same if Matt Harvey did it. You can't have players all of a sudden making up strategy. It just doesn't work. That's anarchy. You're going to have anarchy on the ball club. Ridiculous. I know he's probably frustrated and upset. But take your $9 million or $7 million, whatever it is this year, and deal with it. Go out and try to find a job making $9 million a year somewhere with no talent other than throwing a baseball. It ain't out there, my friend. So you don't like the bunt signal? And you got kids around and everything else, and you cursing out the manager? Come on, it just doesn't fly. Just doesn't fly. We don't need any malcontents. You know what? It's overrated, this thing. You need a lefty in a rotation. Get rid of them. And maybe give Rush Steven Matz. Throw him in there. He pitched well in spring training last year. Give him a couple of months in Las Vegas. I keep thinking Norfolk. I don't know why. Give him a couple of months in Las Vegas. And then bring him up, and then there goes. There's your lefty in the rotation. I just don't get it with these ball players. And in all sports, doesn't anybody get it that they're living a great life? That they're doing something that everybody in the world would love to be doing, that they have a specific talent? And yet they pull stupid things like this. And it's not only him. It's a minor thing. There are guys that did a lot worse. And they're just as stupid. If not dumber or stupider. I don't know if that's a word or not. Just suck it up, Johnny, all right? Keep your mouth shut and go out to pitch. And if the manager says you're done, just take it with a grain of salt that he's trying to help you and save your career. Because if you blow your shoulder out, you just blew your $10 and $11 million option. So I hope you save the money that you have. But all right, Baseball Prospectus with their new minor league staff recently kicked off their off-season prospect coverage and is deep into the NL East. I'm not going to read all of this, but they are but they do like the Mets farm system. And they even go on to say that they have a strong collection of both minor league talent and young major leaguers that gives the Mets strong depth. The Mets may not have the best collection of prospects and young players, but you can make an argument for them having the most balanced farm system in a game. And that's something that we have not heard a lot in connection with the New York Mets. But as I told you last week, they are very solid in the lower leagues right now. And these guys could be coming soon. But they have a lot of talent in the lower minors, and they're not going to be in the lower minors for long. So the top 10 that Baseball Prospectus picked in Mets prospects. Number 1, of course, Noah Syndergaard. Number 2, Steven Matz. Number 3, Brandon Nimmo. Number 4, Ahmed Rosario. Talked to you about this guy last week. Number 5, Kevin Plawecki. Number 6, Dilson Herrera. Number 7, Marcus Molina, another Cyclone that I spoke about. Number 8, Smith. Number 9, Michael Conforto. And number 10, Johan Urena. And there's a lot of Cyclones on that list. And that tells me that the Cyclones are a good starting point for these kids and teaching them a lot about being a professional, and there's some talent there. It also appeared that Baseball Prospectus is very much on board, as I said, with the upside of lower-level minor leaguers, especially Ahmed Rosario, Marcus Molina, Dominic Smith, Michael Conforto, and Johan Urena, who are a bit away but do have several tools and factors for them. As for prospects that are on the rise, Baseball Perspective notes right-handed pitcher Casey Meisner, outfield champ Stewart, right-handed pitcher Gabriel Yanoa. These 3 are all candidates for the top 10 list next year and receive positive reports from the various Baseball Perspective staff members / scouts. Meisner mainly as a body projecting and growing in a positive direction, Stewart for his present-day tools, and Yanoa for his pitchability profile. As factors on the farm, BP expects 2015 contributions from right-handed pitcher Rafael Montero, left-handed pitcher Jack Leathersich, and outfielder Cesar Puello. So that's what Baseball Perspective thinks of the New York Mets farm system. And I'm telling you, folks, they've got some players down there. And for the first time, they have more than just pitchers. They have some real good players down there. And I think we have a lot to look forward to in the upcoming months and years. Actually, years, definitely. All right. We went pretty long tonight. Didn't think it would be this long, but went pretty long. And so congratulations again to Jacob deGrom, Rookie of the Year. What a great offseason so far. Golden Glove in Juan Lagares, Rookie of the Year in Jacob deGrom. We signed a free agent, Michael Cuddyer, for the outfield and occasional first base, right-handed first baseman. And now it's on to see what happens. The rest of the offseason with the general manager's meetings ending today, and we're on to the winter meetings in December. The schedule for this particular show is there will be a show next week. Hopefully there'll be some news. We'll see what comes up next week. And then we're going to take a few weeks off for the holiday, Thanksgiving. Be back in December, probably the week of the winter meetings. And we'll play it by ear then, probably be off a couple of weeks over the Christmas holidays and come back sometime in January. But I'll keep you all up to date and give you all the particulars when we get to that point. So, enjoy it. Enjoy that the Mets are making some things happen. And remember, keep the faith, stay optimistic, and let's go Mets.